Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Holden Blaze and today we're going to be talking about LCX cryptocurrency. LCX is an exchange cryptocurrency similar to a BNB or a Kronos coin. Now usually I'm not a huge fan of exchange cryptocurrencies. They're very high risk, high reward as they are somewhat centralized and dependent on this one exchange. However, despite the fact that I would never invest into BNB or CRO, I really do like LCX and I will outline why in this video. We will be covering an LCX fundamental analysis. I will provide some background on Liechtenstein itself, and of course provide some price targets for this upcoming bull run. LCX itself stands for Liechtenstein Crypto Exchange and is the main crypto exchange of Liechtenstein. Now, being a dumb American, I had never heard of Liechtenstein before researching this project, but apparently it is the 6th smallest country in the world and has the 2nd highest GDP per person. That means that while the population is quite small, there are a lot of wealthy individuals in this country and they know how to attract foreign investment. In fact, the only reason that Liechtenstein is as wealthy as it is basically just because it attracts foreign investment from other European countries by offering lower tax rates. That equates for free tax money for Liechtenstein and it equates for less tax payments for these companies. It's a win-win situation, and out of all of the countries in the world, Liechtenstein is very good at acquiring foreign investment despite being so small. There's only around 30,000 people who live in Liechtenstein, which I'm sure is smaller than most of the cities you live in, but yes, that is an entire country. By having such a small population, the companies inside Liechtenstein usually specialize in specific niches. They realize they aren't able to produce mass quantities of products for the everyday consumer just because they don't have enough people in the country. Instead, they try to compete in these small niches where they actually can see great success on a global scale. This also causes every single company that was built inside Liechtenstein to automatically think about a global market. They realize that there's just not enough consumers inside this small country to create a prosperous business. That means that all Liechtenstein companies, including LCX, are mainly focused on acquiring customers from other countries. I think this gives LCX a lot of credibility because I know that they are prepared to compete on a global scale and that their country itself is very trusted by being very wealthy and having absolutely no debt. In fact, because the country is so small, the government itself, which is a monarchy, has allowed LCX to use the nation's official logo on their advertising. They want other European countries to look at LCX with the same credibility that they look at Liechtenstein as a whole, and I think will succeed wildly in the European markets. Now, as I explain this project, you should realize it is a high risk, high reward play. It is similar to Pepe, which I outlined last video, where it needs a lot of dominoes to fall in the right direction in order to create a successful narrative for this project. However, given the fact that LCX's market cap is incredibly small, we don't even need to see LCX become a global leader. We don't even need to see LCX reach half the valuation that Crypto.com reached last cycle. In fact, if LCX was to reach only 50% of Kronos's market cap last cycle, the price should be around $10. That should be around a 100x from the current prices now, and I personally believe that that is completely viable. Now, please know I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just sharing my own thoughts and opinions on why I am bullish on LCX. However, it's mainly due to the market cap. It is very tiny, and we have seen projects like BNB and Kronos absolutely explode in past cycles. I actually believe that both of these cryptocurrencies will see new all-time highs this coming cycle, which means that the ceiling for LCX only goes up. I believe that a $10 billion market cap in LCX is somewhat conservative. I will show you some values here in a second, which are absolutely mind-numbing. However, before I get into the price targets, I want to outline some of the use cases for this LCX token. Now, like Kronos and BNB, it allows users who use the LCX platform to have cheaper fees. This is pretty commonplace, and you can research some of the other attributes that the LCX token offers. However, I also want to point out that they, in fact, are looking into real-world digital assets. One of their NFT projects is called Diamonds, where they're selling actual diamonds backed by NFTs. The whole thing is secured by LCX, and I personally believe that if NFTs ever blow up again, there is a chance that some of these diamonds do pretty well, only sending LCX price higher. I also want to point out the fact that LCX is not targeted towards everyday retail like you and me. Like every other Liechtenstein company, LCX is looking for a certain niche where it can fit in, and LCX decided that it wants to target institutional money. I believe there's a ton of institutional money coming into the market in the next 2 years, and I think LCX is positioned in a great way to capitalize on a lot of that inflow. Now, it's not all sunshine and daisies because LCX's user interface is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, there's not really any reason why someone who's using a Binance or a Coinbase should swap over to LCX. I've looked at it, it's clunky. However, they aren't targeting us. They're targeting institutions who will have the funds to hire someone to figure out that whole process. Or if the client's big enough, LCX will take care of the whole thing as long as they have the other individual with them. I see a lot of people hating on the user interface, and I think it's absolutely valid. However, you just gotta realize they are not worried about me and you. They're worried about attracting large institutions with a bunch of money who don't actually care about the user interface. If they trust LCX to hold their funds, it's not like they're gonna check the price every 4 hours like me and you do. They're just gonna hold it with LCX, trusting the process, and I personally struggle to see why the user interface would be a huge hurdle in acquiring these institutions. Now we're almost to the price targets, but we got to talk about tokenomics real quick. The tokenomics on LCX actually look pretty decent. There is a large chunk of the supply already on the publicly traded market, and the inflation rate doesn't look too abysmal. As of the time of recording, there is roughly 775 million LCX on the circulating supply, and the total supply is around 950 million. That is a cap supply, and given the fact that inflation is not looking like it should be a huge issue with LCX, I believe some of these price targets I'm about to talk about will absolutely blow your mind. Now, right now, you need to note the market cap is at $95 million. That means LCX can 10x and still be under a $1 billion market cap. Keep that in mind because we're about to compare that to Cronos and BNB from last cycle. Both of these projects have huge issues with them. Neither of them I would personally invest into. However, they did reach pretty hefty market caps. BNB was actually able to hit $100 billion last cycle. And again, I don't think LCX will ever compete with BNB. However, a smaller project like Crypto.com hit a market cap of $22 billion. That means that LCX would see a 230x if it was able to reach that same market cap. Even comparing LCX to Cronos at the current price, it would have to 25x in order to match the market cap of Cronos. I personally think Cronos will hit a new all-time high, and a 25x on LCX looks incredibly realistic. Now, I honestly think that the 230x is a little bit optimistic. I think it's safe to say that LCX may reach around a $10 billion market cap instead of a $20 billion, but that's still over a 100x on your money. And so that's why I'm making this video. LCX is not the most perfect project in the world. Neither is BNB, neither is Cronos. However, they were able to hit really high market caps, and LCX is sitting in a prime position to gain a lot of customers the next couple years while having a market cap that's under $100 million. Just to show you how small LCX is, LCX would currently have to do a 493x in order to match the market cap that Binance has right now. In order to reach Binance's all-time high in market cap, LCX would over 1000x. Now, obviously, I don't think that's possible. I'm just spewing out these numbers to show you that a 100x from current prices is honestly not out of the cards. I think that could absolutely play out. But again, this is all speculation, not financial advice. This is only my own opinion. I also want to recognize that crypto projects usually fall flat of hitting nice round numbers. So I do think LCX could top out before $10, but more realistically, I think it's topping out before $20. I struggle to see it hitting above $20 this cycle. I cannot tell you if that's $7, $13, or $19. I could see all three of those playing out. It really just depends on how many dominoes fall in the right direction for LCX. However, even my smallest price prediction is a very nice gain on the current prices. And so I really recommend you look further into LCX. If you found some value in this video, make sure to drop a comment down below. I really love chatting with all of you. Tell me your opinions on LCX, and I would love to see you in the next video. Peace out.